So
You're listening to The Devin Dyer Show.
I kind of should have had my wife be on here with me because a little bit, the thing I've been following you guys for a long time, and I'm always impressed that you guys work together every day. So what I want to do to start out is I want you both to introduce yourselves, and then I'm going to start asking a bunch of questions.
Sure. Well, I'm Miranda Chiasson, and I grew up here in what?
I didn't know if I should say my name or not at the time, or if you were gonna say it for me.
Yeah, that's Jason. No, I introduced him. I'm the wife. I'm the boss. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm Miranda Chiasson. I grew up here in Wisconsin, where our shop currently is. And this is my husband. Go ahead.
I'm Jason Chiasson, part owner of Chiasson Smoke, and I married Miranda, and I live in Wisconsin now. We run our small fabrication shop.
So how long have you been married for?
We got married in 2013, so that's
2013.
How many years is that?
mm,
12. Going on 12 this year?
And when you got married,
13.
what were you working already, or what did she see in you that she thought this looks like a guy I should take a risk on?
well, we dated for 6 years before we got married. We've been together a long time, and I don't know. We were working in Montana. You know, I wanted to be a cowboy my whole life, and I took a job in Montana. And she came out there to ride horses and bring guests out on trail rides. And I was the barn manager out there at the time. And I don't know what she saw on me, but she saw something.
That's where you met each other?
Yeah,
Montana, yep,
Montana.
And
2007.
how long did it take for you to figure out that maybe you liked each other enough to spend some time together?
I think he fell for me the minute he saw me, but
I'll never forget the day I pulled up I had pulled up because we were doing a lot of, this was 27. So I had been in the Gulf a lot right after Hurricane Katrina, just a lot of P&A and wells. So I was offshore, and the last hitch I was on was like 75 days. And Flathead Lake Lodge, the barn had called and said, "Hey, we want you up here to work. We want you back." I had worked there back in 2001, right after school, and we want you back. Come run the barn up here. I said, "Let me get a helicopter scheduled. I'm on my way." And I quit. I drove up there, and when I drove up to the ranch, the first person I saw was Miranda coming out of the heading box, roping a steer. And she went down the pen, she roped him slicked around the horns, and she couldn't grab a dally. And she had missed her dally, and the first thing I said to her is like, I could help you with that dally. And we've been together ever since.
So you got all your fingers? You got your thumb?
Yep.
I got them all.
Yep.
So
I
you're
did have a
smart
bad
enough.
accident once.
Did you grow up with horses and cows, or what did you grow up with?
Yeah, I grew up with horses. I didn't get into roping till like late in my high school years. But Jason, you had horses too.
Yeah, later on too. I grew up on a dairy farm. My entire family were dairy farmers down in South Louisiana. And being on the dairy farm, I mean, I remember, welding was just something you did on the farm, on the dairy, just something you did. I took welding in high school. Um, that was kind of my background, and I just
What kind of cows were you milking? What kind of dairy farm?
Holstein.
Oh, really?
Yep,
And
Holstein.
how many cows were you running?
My family farm at one point was 200 mama cows, 200 milking cows. Yeah,
And so what time in the morning did you have to get up to milk cows?
three. It was usually 3 a.m. and then it was 3 p.m.
So you did two shifts and it was 3 and 3.
Yeah, it depended on where the school was, like where I was at in school. Like when we were off of school, we would milk in the mornings, and then you'd get off the school bus and you could milk in the afternoons. But yeah, 3 and 3.
And did you go to school smelling like manure because you didn't have time to change your clothes?
I'm sure I did. I just maybe didn't notice it at the time. I don't know, but yeah, I'm sure I did.
Yeah, I spent time when I was in high school. I worked milking cows early in the morning,
Yeah.
And then when I got married, I actually met my wife. Again, I should have had her with me here, but I actually met her at a rodeo where she was roping. And then when we got married, I went, and her dad was a cow vet. So that's all he did was preg check cows and deliver calves. And
Yeah.
he'd been around that their whole life. And she actually rodeoed in high school. The joke is I did rough stock. I didn't have enough money to have a horse. So we did rough stock, but the rough stock riders never talked to the barrel racers or the people that rope, because there was two different categories. There was the elite people, and then there was the rest of us that were broke.
Got you. Got you.
So how long did you work in Montana? How long were you out there for?
About 7 years.
Yeah.
So for a
7 years.
long time.
Yep.
Yeah.
7 years. And then we got an opportunity to move to New Mexico, Hobbs, New Mexico, to work on a ranch there. And in return, they had the ranch had about 25 finished rope horses at the time. All the steers you could rope, basically check cows. At that time, we had gone through a bad drought, and the owner of the ranch was bringing in hay from Montana, because they were going through the bad drought. A lot of cows were dying. They were chewing all these mesquite beans. So a lot of our job in the beginning was going around feeding cows. Hay was coming in. We were just feeding cows, and
Doctoring cows.
doctoring cattle. That was kind of what we did there, and it just we wanted that cowboy lifestyle, but that was a little bit too hardcore for us. If that without trying to seem a little.
Hobbs, New Mexico was not a place where that we were
I
going
mean,
to
we
raise a family.
we wanted a family, and I just I don't know, it just wasn't fitting for us. And I said, well, I got connections in the oil field, and I'm gonna go back to the oil field. And that's we left Hobbs and went to Louisiana.
But
And
when you were working on the farm and ranch, you probably spent a lot more time together and saw each other more than working in the oil field.
That's true.
yeah, we worked together every day. We got up together at the same time, saddled horses, loaded the trucks, doctored cattle, checked cows, fed cows. We did it all together. She would drive, and I would dump hay. I would unload the bales.
Well, the other thing too that's tough is when you're working as a cowboy or cowgirl on a ranch, it's pretty hard to put any money away, isn't it? That's not a profession
Yeah.
where it pays much money at all.
No, I mean a good day hand. Probably you pay him 125, 150 a day, but you don't you'd only work half a day. You're done by 11 o'clock, because by 11 o'clock in the morning, it's getting too hot to work cows or doctor cows or anything anyway. So about half a day's work, you make about $150 if you're handy.
So at what point then, so you went back and you worked in the oil fields, and so how long did you do that for?
We were back in Louisiana another 5 years.
6 years.
2018 is when we moved up to Wisconsin. Yeah, so another 6 years.
And
Yep.
so at what point did you decide that you were going to be brave enough and jump off the cliff and start doing your own thing where
Man,
you were having to provide for yourself?
I've always wanted to do. When we were in Montana, we started MJ Horsemanship, which was a small business, and we would take in. So this is 2008, 2009, probably. We would take in outside horses, get them started, get them going. Um, we developed our website. I was doing like colt starting videos on a camera, and I was
Oh yeah.
and I was posting them. We were posting them to YouTube.
Camcorder,
That was
you
probably
know.
before you had an iPhone with a good camera and
Yeah,
ability to post
100%.
stuff. Wow.
Yeah, we would
We
video with
we had a YouTube channel called Tip to Target, and
I don't think it exists anymore.
doesn't exist anymore. I got rid of it, not realizing what it was at the time. But I had got to
Kept it.
yeah. But I would just do our horse training stuff, our team roping stuff, the stuff that I was learning. I was basically, as I was learning, I would share it, and we were getting followers, people offering advice back then. And so I've always been an entrepreneurial type. I just wasn't smart enough to know what I was supposed to do. And when we came here, I started making spurs again. We opened up the shop and it just wasn't cutting it. I didn't understand how to market. I didn't understand marketing. And that was when I look back on everything now, man, I wish I could start my ice cream truck business again because I dominate.
Ice cream truck.
Like,
We did all
Did
kinds.
you-
go
Did you
ahead.
have an ice cream truck?
Yeah,
sure
we ran an
did.
ice cream truck.
We sure did in Louisiana.
And now, man, I'd have had 3 trucks. I'd have had 3 employees. I would have been running. And if they try to kick me out of a neighborhood, I'd offer ice cream for free. I could play the game. And yeah, looking back on it, I've just always been entrepreneur. We came up here, started making spurs. I wasn't selling very many. It would take me a week to make a pair of spurs for $800 for a pair of spurs, all handmade, and it just wasn't making sense.
Do you think anybody makes it much money making spurs? My dad makes spurs. And I know another guy in Idaho that makes spurs, and he makes bits and stuff, and he claims he makes really good money.
Yeah.
But I just
I
always
wasn't
wonder.
I wasn't as good of a silversmith as those
Yeah.
guys are. No, a good bit and spur maker, he'll get $10,000 for a pair of spurs.
Yeah. And then
Uh,
people are probably waiting for a long time too, right? He's
And-
got a pretty good wait list.
100%. And
Especially
there's some artists out there.
Yeah, you're the artist. And so it's hard to scale that if you're the only one able to
Yeah.
do that,
Well,
but
you premium price.
So
Stuff I was doing wasn't the stuff was yeah, I couldn't the guys that would buy my stuff couldn't afford those. I hit a different market. I did with quality spurs and they were nice spurs, but they weren't what the silver guys are doing out there and these engraving guys
the
are doing.
soldering and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you guys were in high school or 15, 16, 17, what were you thinking you were going to do to provide for yourself and a family when you got older?
When I was 15 and 16, that was when Pat Pirelli had passed through on their way to a show in Texas. And they had stopped in at a barn that I was working for, and they had dropped to unload their horses. They just needed a place to stop for the night. And we were one of those horse hotels. So we unload their horses. We start meeting them. And then I'm like, who's Pat Pirelli? I start looking into the Pat Pirelli and the Pat Pirelli training methods. And I go all in. I was 15, 16, 17 through high school. I was working on becoming a certified like Pat Pirelli trainer, going through like the levels and taking on outside horses at the same time. I had kind of grew up, kind of seen some different ways of getting horses going, but getting them started. And I was using that approach. And my whole idea, I was going to be a clinician my whole life. I'm going to be a clinician. I'm going to be a cowboy, and I'm going to be a clinician. And I'm going to teach people how to ride their horses yeah, that's
But you did.
I did for a little while.
He started a whole camp,
Yeah, I did a summer camp. all
summer
kinds of-
camps with kids, and
Yeah. It was great. I still meet some of those people that we did that stuff with. It was
Jason
great.
still talks about we should do a horse camp.
I'll start one next week.
Here we
He
go.
he's the kind of guy that he's already got other jobs and businesses that he's going to start on top of what he's doing, and you just don't know about it yet. And
Yeah.
you're probably
Dude,
scared
we had a
when it
conversation
comes
today.
out.
We had a conversation today, and there's about to be some stuff happening around here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's full of it, and I'm over here doing the technical stuff.
So what's fun is I've been in business probably since I was 21, maybe 20, and I don't know anything about anything. I know how to go find work. I know how to go do the work. I don't care about paying taxes. I don't care about paying bills. I don't care about opening emails. My wife in high school was a 4.0 student. She actually did book work for her dad, so she understands the importance, and all she does is run behind me. And she says she feels like I'm just running down the road throwing papers behind me, and her job is to just come along and pick them all up and try to get them all taken care of, and I just don't ever stop. And even with my business right now, I'm 55, and she keeps talking about, oh, what's her exit strategy? And I've talked about this before, but I don't tell anybody what I'm doing because I'm not, my exit strategy is when I tip over and I die, but I want to keep building. I want to keep growing because it's what I'm passionate about. But my poor wife has gotten drug along for the ride. The sad part about men like us, Jason, we need good women around us because we need women that are really patient and who love us enough that they'll let us kind of play the game that we play and that they keep picking up. But everybody that looks at me or the business and they think I'm successful, the only reason we're successful is because my wife opens emails and pays the taxes on time and pays payroll tax on time and goes through that stuff. But for me, I couldn't care less about any of that stuff.
Oh yeah, Jason.
Are we recording right now? Because I want to.
The same
I
thing.
mean, you described us. You described us. I mean, it's.
He's definitely the entrepreneurial, has ideas flowing. I mean, he's talking on his phone all the time, taking notes all day. Like when he has an idea, it's hey, blah, 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 talking to his phone and it's taking notes and
Throwing papers behind me.
yeah, throwing papers and I'm picking them up. Like exactly what you said. Like
Yeah.
it's
So I don't know how
a
we
lot of
get lucky enough like we have, because my wife sounds probably a lot like you. My wife rodeoed in high school. She was valedictorian. When we go out and work, and I would work 14, 15 hours a day, my wife was always right by my side, and she still is. And the thing is, she's always joked and says, if I die, you'll find another wife and marry quickly. And I absolutely won't, because I would never find somebody that puts up with the crap that she does.
No, we couldn't do it without Miranda. Like it would be impossible. If something happened to Miranda, um things would come to a halt. I know for like she is like we always like I have these ideas and I have these visions and I come up with these strategies and I but when it comes to all the other stuff that is so important, now she teaches me when I ask her about it. But
you still do.
she carried, yeah, she carries all of that.
What
Carries
kind of
all
grades, what kind of grades, Jason, did you get in school?
D's and F's.
Yes, you're my man.
I'm a high school dropout.
Um, I got D's and F's in high school, and I actually graduated because I think the teachers were just done with me. But when I was in high school, so when I grew up, my dad struggled to provide for the family. So any money that I had was because of me. And I would go to work, and when I got home from work, I would pretty much give my paycheck to my mom. So when I was in high school, I actually had a full-time job working at a welding shop when I was in high school. And I actually worked the graveyard shift. We would go to work, and I would work from 10 o'clock at night, and I would work till 6 in the morning during high school. And then sometimes I would go to class. I wouldn't ever go home and go to bed, but sometimes I would go to class, sometimes I wouldn't. It didn't really matter to me, but that was my life. And if I was going to survive, I had to work. I didn't have the luxury of just not going to work, because if I didn't go to work, I didn't have gas money for my truck. I didn't have money to buy a new used old tire when the one tire went flat on my truck. And so for me, it was work, work, work. My wife worked that hard, but she got 4.0s in school and was valedictorian, and her dad made her do math. I still can't do math, and I use it every day. But I'm the polar opposite of what my wife is.
Same here.
Yeah.
I was not valedictorian.
Yeah, you went.
Oh.
But the one thing is she probably didn't have very good taste in men either. That's one of my wife's downfalls. Everything else she's really good at.
Yeah. Yeah, I started milking cows at 12 for income. My mom had gone through a divorce with my dad. There was 3 kids, and I was the income provider. I was milking cows down the road. I was working 7 days a week. I milked both morning and afternoon for the dairy that I was working for, and it was $30 a day is what we got paid. So every week I got $210, and I would give it to mom so she could.
Really?
Yep,
Wow.
every week.
Yeah.
And I was going to school at the time. as we got older, things got better. When I got, once, but that was a rough patch there for sure that my mom was going through. So I give her props for that. Now I was pissed off when I was going through it.
Yeah.
But I mean, my first car I ever bought was $500 1982 Chevy truck that I had to come up with $500. At that time, my mom had met Jalen, who's now our stepdad. Um, that had like he helped me with my truck, and so it's been. I mean, we lived in a trailer park. It's been we had nothing either, and I just always. I don't know if that's what drives me to do more and do more. Because people ask me all the time, they say this all the time. They're like, "Man, what you gonna do when it fails? This is 15 minutes of fame. What you gonna do when this fails?" And I'm like, but I got more experience being broke than I do running a successful business. I'm just gonna start another successful business.
And
Like I'm not even worried about it.
I'm a consistent failure. Like the one thing I'm good at is failing.
Yeah.
And it sounds like to me, I can't tell you how much we relate. I'm not afraid to fail. And when I go do things, even when my wife is nervous, like we just bought a whole bunch of new equipment, and the market and the economy is not very good right now. But it's like this week, I just bought a new water truck and wrote a check out of my bank account that I didn't. When I bought the water truck, I didn't have money to buy it, but I bought it, and I know I don't care. I know I'm going to figure it out. And she's like, "Well, payroll's tomorrow. You got to come up with 50 grand tomorrow. You just spent all our money." Okay. And she, if it was up to her, we would both be school teachers because we would have consistent income. And she did teach school,
Yeah.
but she would have me be a school teacher and make $1,000 a month, knowing I had $1,000 coming in. I couldn't care less. Like, I don't know. It's interesting. Life's not been good my whole life, so I'm not afraid of anything. And
No, just recently here for Easter, we were at my mom's house, and we were leaving, and we gave her a hug, giving her a hug like bye or whatever, and she was She was like, "Oh, I'm so proud of you. Congratulations on the success." I said, "Hey, keep that bedroom open because we might have to come back if I got to start over." And oh well. I mean, it's great to have. I guess I have an option to fall back on. I'll move back in with my mama if I had to in the trailer park.
that's my option, is moving back in with my in-laws. So what's interesting, there's a guy that's a billionaire, and he's I don't know if he's from Japan or where he's from, but he said right now he feels like they're always 30 days away from going bankrupt. And they've built the company into $1 billion business. And he still says, because I keep stretching, I keep pushing, I know that I'm always 30 days away from bankruptcy. And that's the way he lives. And so I get it. So on the rodeo side, when I was in high school and I did rodeo, when I tell you we were broke, we were so broke. I had no money. But me and my friend, Sean Woodard, when we would go to rodeos, we only had like $5 or $6 to put gas in the truck. And we would leave and go to the rodeo, and we had no money for a motel. We never stayed in a motel. We'd sleep on a park bench. We'd sleep in the back of a truck. He'd meet somebody and we'd go sleep at their house. We didn't have any food. As we were going through it, we would work it out. And that's the way my whole life's been. So when we would travel, we would just find somebody and then we'd find some more money. And that's the way it's always been. It's never not been that way.
Dude,
so familiar.
I had no idea.
Checks.
Man, I got a story in 2000. In 2010, a roping came up in Lolo Peak, Montana, and Miranda and I were going to go, and we had enough money to get there and enter the one roping. And I was like, "Let's go. Come on, Miranda. Let's go. Let's do it."
Mountain Dew and
Miranda, she never Mountain Dew and potato chips. Here we come. And And at the time, I could do side work. Like I was building spurs at the time as well, selling spurs, and I'd go move hay for somebody, or I can make money. I'd wash dishes at the bar. Everybody's getting drunk at the bar. I'd go to hang out with everybody, but I'd say, hey, you need me to wash it? I would do whatever. I didn't care. And we get down there, we enter the roping, and we're at what year was that truck? That old Dodge? Oh man, I can't remember now. That old open trailer, bumper pull open trailer.
98.
We get there, we enter the roping, and I think I missed like the second steer. Like we were out the roping. And it was just a heartbreak and all this stuff. I said, well, there's another one after this one. You ain't got no money. I said, well, if we write a check, and by the time we get back, and I know that I got this that I can go do, and I know I got this to do, and he'll pay me cash, I said we can deposit it before they even get to the bank on Monday. This is a Saturday.
And what does she think about this when you're
I don't
telling
know.
these
What
guys
is
I was
that?
totally like, I wanted to rope. So I was like, whatever, he's got this. Like, I was totally for it.
Sure enough, we entered that roping. We wrote a check. I mean, I had a plan. Wrote that check. We won the roping. Won $3,500.
Wow.
2010 Lolo Peak Arena, and it was crazy. We won saddles.
Yeah.
That's
the picture. Well, you probably haven't seen it, but the picture of us holding saddles, that was that roping.
2010.
We slept in our truck. We stayed overnight. We slept in our truck that night.
Yeah, and we traveled a while after that because now we had money. Let me tell you
You
something.
got $3,500, so that'll take you a long
Dude,
way.
We were rolling.
$3,500. I was like, we're rich, baby. We got it now, and we went and lost it all, but we had fun sleeping in our truck.
Team roping for you.
Yeah.
What do your parents think of him?
Nope.
Jason, they love him. They think he's just the smartest guy in the world.
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
That sounded like pretty thick sarcasm.
No, they love him. They have their moments. My dad had a business he ran, and
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Jason always wants to be past what he's done. So like he doesn't like to take advice from somebody if that's not where he wants to be. So
I agree with that 100%, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, her dad created
He has his opinions, and Jason has his opinions, and
a very successful
very niche.
He invented a chopper spotter. He held a patent on it, and it was assembled. I mean, he had a great business for 25 years, but after 25 years, it valued at $1 million, and which in my mind, that is a great success. But he did exactly what his goal was. He wanted to create a space that he could live out his life and have a business that created all the income he needed. And that's exactly what he did, and he was happy for it. But for me, I don't want to do it the way he did it. I want a $50 million business. I want a $100 million business. I want to grow this. I want Chiasson. When people think of outdoor grills, I want them to say, "Oh man, you have a Chiasson Smoke grill? Oh, that's an awesome grill." The thing is we're having to learn it as we go. I have no manufacturing experience out there before this, in a sense, and I like the space that we're in. I think the market is heavy. But it's a strong market. Like it's people buy grills, and if we can get our marketing right, and I think we can find our spot and grow this company where I think it could be.
So one of the things that's been interesting for me, and I don't know that it's a downfall. It probably is a downfall, but so I'm like you. Nobody taught me how to be in business, so I have no clue what I'm doing. I don't know anything about finances. I don't know anything about equipment. I don't know anything about anything. The thing I'm struggling the most right now with is leadership. So we have probably 20 to 25 guys that work for us, and I can go out and get work. I can get checks in. I can do that. But to grow the business, I'm learning that where I'm absolutely horrible is leadership. and I am trying really hard to figure out how to be a better leader and to train people to take the place behind me. And for me, if you're working with me, like if I'm welding up your stove and I need somebody to hold something together, I'm not going to tell you to hold that up or to help me. If you're not smart enough to do it, I'm like, I don't want you around. But I have to be a better leader where I'm like, hey, take that piece, point A, point B, and hold it together. But I don't know if it's ego or pride, but that's what's holding me back. And so I've also learned I don't trust anybody else's opinion, because when I go talk to people, well, and especially now, there's like this whole coaching BS thing that you can come join my coaching thing and I'll teach you how to run a business. And it's some 23-year-old, 25-year-old kid or some 30-year-old. And I'm like, I've looked at people like that before, and then I'm like, oh, crud, I know more than this guy does. I always thought there was an answer out there somewhere that somebody could teach me how to run my business. And then I finally learned, oh, it's all on me. Somebody can't teach me. I got to figure it out.
So we started a community, a school community, and the idea behind this community is these conversations. And I think sometimes people come in there and they're expecting that there's an answer. And it's so like, man, I've been doing this small business thing. When I look back on it, I've been doing it forever. When I started my horse training business, when Miranda and I started MJ Horsemanship in Montana, the spur business, we were raising Bob White quail for a little while. The ice cream truck, the lawn service business that Miranda and I ran.
Yeah.
That's one business I always want, because I
Yeah.
think that's such an awesome business. I've done that.
Yeah. So I've always just been, gosh, I don't even know how to, what I'm trying to say with it. It's just,
The leadership.
yeah, I don't, what I'm trying to say is when it comes to building the team, it seems to be working out better when I almost step back. If I don't know how to explain this.
No, you get out of the way. I've learned to get out of my guys' ways.
And it's like today we had a welders meeting with our 4 welders, and just great conversations. But and I wanted to explain to him about this leadership thing that I'm trying to wrap my head around, and I wish I was smarter, because I feel like if I was smarter I could really just lay it out the way I want to lay it out. But is
I'm really
guys,
smart when I have thoughts in my brain, but to get
yeah.
it out and say what I'm thinking is
Yeah. And
difficult.
today I told him, it's like, guys, it's my leadership and my ambition is going to take us forward, but it's your skill sets that you're bringing to the table, and your ability to um, change as it needs to change, as things need to change and happen. Now, there are times when I'll look at a process that maybe they set up, and I'm like, guys, that's not the way to do it. Like, there are times when I do step
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
The best thing that's been happening for us is my craziness, the chaos that they call it, where I always have this. I'll get to the shop and we're going to be focusing on this, and I'll be thinking about another business we could start if I would do this or that or something. Like in the middle of a meeting, like in the middle of a podcast, I'm trying to think of how, like, it's
And it's 24 hours a day though, right? It
yeah,
never,
24
it
hours.
never ends.
Yeah.
People, people would not comprehend what goes through your mind. Um, I sit all day long. I get it. I actually know how your brain functions just talking to you, and it just never stops. And it doesn't matter where I'm at. It doesn't matter what meeting I'm in or who I'm talking to. I'm not ever like where we're sitting right here doing a podcast. I'm a little more present, but if I'm with you somewhere, I'm never present, because I'm always thinking, okay, I need to do this. I need to do this. Okay, I need to buy that. Okay, we need to start doing this. I need to do this. It never, ever ends. And then when I hear people come up and they're talking about some nonsense about what the neighbor's doing or the neighbor's dog or this or that, I have no need for that nonsense, because I'm going up here. And so whatever little talk you have about nothing, I have the hardest time being around people or being in rooms.
Yeah.
with conversations where people are on this real low level energy and they're not excited about going this way. And I would rather just be alone so that I can just keep processing and keep putting all the little parts and the puzzle pieces together and pull them apart and put them back together.
Are you Jason's brother?
I feel like we must
Yeah,
be spirit brothers. Holy smoke.
Yeah.
This poor guy.
well, I mean, I'm seeing the importance of building the team and the leadership. I mean, Miranda and I carried this business to a point, but what got us there wasn't going to get us where we needed to go. And we're learning as we go the mental side of this. Like I always think we're broke. Miranda, what were sales today? Or she'll pull up and bought out, and I'll look at those sales. And I'm like, why did they drop? What's going on? All right, what is our content? Like this is happening
I tried
live.
to like calm him down. Like, let's just
But
go off the average. If we have a bad day, it's like, oh,
but
But no,
aren't you
I'll pump out
angry?
2 extra videos that day.
But
Like,
aren't you angry at yourself when it drops or something? And you're like, oh man, okay, I
yeah,
got
I'm
to push
slacking.
harder on this.
oh yeah, 100%. He's
That's
I'll
how
stay up. I'll stay up till midnight, 1 o'clock to get whatever needs to be edited or whatever. People always talk about, oh, you just gotta outwork the next guy, and I do believe that though. I really do, and I think what separates me from I build products that anybody with a fabrication shop can build. There's nothing they could do about it. But when it comes to outworking someone else, is I'm gonna show up more in front of other people's faces. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna at 5 o'clock. I don't close the shop doors and go to bed, like or go home. And this is gonna sound
well,
bad,
even
or
if you go home, you are not
yeah,
shutting shop.
yeah. We don't have a work life balance very much.
But that whole work like life balance thing's a lie. People always
Yeah,
say,
I
how
don't.
do you do that? You don't. Either you win here and you lose over here some, or you don't do anything and you're just flat. And
Yep.
uh, yeah, and I would wonder too, with your mindset the way it is, do you care that you're winning so other people you win, or you want to win for you and everybody else can just screw off? Because for me, I don't care what the neighbors think. I don't care what this company thinks about me. I don't care what anybody thinks. I only care that when I look in the mirror that I'm like, okay, are you better today than you were yesterday? And I don't worry about anybody else. It's me against me every day, all day long.
I don't worry about it at all. I mean, there's some other builders out there, that I don't think they understand the scale of where we're at, compared to where they're at, knowing because we know what it's like to be in that position. And um, what was the question again? I lost
Well,
track of the
I was
question.
talking about you competing against yourself and not against these other people.
Oh
Right, bringing up.
Like
So
you want to win for you.
yeah.
yeah, I want to be successful for my family, but like even building this team right now, like I want to bring everybody with it. Like I want everyone to be. It's why I started this school because it's all in their head. A lot of this stuff is in people's head of why they can't be successful. And,
What is
and
the
I,
name of
I
your school? What is the school thing? How do people check that out?
oh, it's the Chiasson Business Network.
Is
It's
that what it is?
yeah, Chiasson Business Network.
And how does that work? Do you meet
They
weekly or what do
sign
you
up.
do?
You go to it, you sign up. There's a 7 day free trial. You can come in and you'll just see all the conversations. Miranda and I go live, usually 2 or 3 times a month, Q&A, stuff like that. Basically, mini podcasts all the time. Basically, just other business owners just asking questions. How'd you do this? How'd you do that? This is how I did it. Would that work for you? And then someone else chimes in. No, well, we do this and this really helped. It's like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Good idea.
Yeah.
And we put a pay window behind it just because of all the riffraff that
Yeah.
we're
Have to.
if this ain't a money grab. I'm hoping one day that we got such a community there I could buy everybody a Corvette. You know what I mean? Like,
It's more about people having skin in the game so that you know
yep,
that they're serious about doing it.
yep. And we're talking and I sincerely want them to be successful. Like I really think they can.
There's
And
there's a large construction company out here that does probably 500 to 700 million dollars a year. And I was talking to the president, and they actually joined a network that it's like 150,000 or $250,000 to join. I mean, they're making lots of
Yeah.
money, but
Yep.
that they all gather together to discuss and go over things. And
Yep.
I don't know if there's that much of that in the dirt community. There probably is. And I don't know that it matters what business you're in, because I think it's all the same.
Yep.
Right.
And those aspects, yeah. But even when it comes to strategies and just, trying to put things together, it's all the same. It's just maybe different products, different angles, but uh we even got accountants in there that offer tax tips. There's all kind of stuff. The group is around using social media as a free source. There's exercises getting about being camera shot, like all kind of different things that we just try to help
Stuff
people
that you
with.
had no idea that you would be
Yeah.
teaching, like you're the guy.
Never.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, what is it like working day to day with the two of you working together, and then still having a relationship where you actually are, and this is pretty personal, but like you're still romantic, that you still love each other, and that you're just like that you're passionate about being husband and wife, but you're also passionate about being business partners together. How do you guys work through that and navigate that in a way that you both feel like you have equal say, or that you're both seen?
Well, I mean, we fight. I mean, we have arguments, um, but it's. I mean, Miranda's my ride or die. I mean, Miranda's been with me for 18 years, 19 years, and we've always, like, it would be hard for me. We've always worked together. Like, it would be so hard for me to, yeah, I don't even know how to explain that of where
I think we're pretty good at resolving. Like
it's like
something
breathing to me. It's like Miranda's there. It's like
we
Miranda's just here.
have our
Miranda-
moments, but it's solved by the end of the day. We don't ever go to bed mad at each other.
Have
Oh.
you ever taken, there's a personality test that has red, yellow, blue, and white. Have you ever taken those?
The
This
disc profile.
this profile? Is that what I gotta
Maybe.
go?
What's your,
Oh, he's
what's your,
gotta go to the bathroom.
Sorry about that. I
Hey,
gotta.
I've had another guy take a break too in the middle, but he took his phone with him. So have you ever taken that personality test?
Yeah, we've taken it. He is he has the D, which is what, dominant or something.
Hmm.
What do they stand for again? It's
Well,
like
the one that I took was a red, yellow, blue, and white. And the one was the red, had to be the leader in the relationship. Blue
Oh.
was you're a perfectionist, and the white, you had empathy and were nice. And the yellow, you were and you just were happy and had a good time.
I'm probably the yellow. So
Are
I'm
you
just
really?
happy. Yeah, happy, have a good time. Jason's like to the point, no fluff. Like, this is how we do it. This is how we're gonna do it. I am more calculated. Like, he'll come up with some ideas, and I'll think about, and I'm not being negative, but I will think about all these little
Uh,
things that we'd have to do, or little hiccups of maybe it wouldn't work because of this, or maybe we should think about this. I'm that type of person. Jason sometimes thinks I'm like this negative when I do that, but it's more just a different thought process than he has. He is, which is
Sorry
good though, because I don't think we would be as far if he would always listen to me. So,
well, for
and I
me,
know that.
I don't ever. I actually value my wife's opinion, but when I'm trying to move forward and do something, I'm not saying this is good. This is probably a bad thing, but I hate it when somebody tells me what the pitfalls are, or or that I'm going to run out of gas. If I'm trying to drive my truck 300 miles, I'm going on a trip, and they're going to say, well, your truck only goes 250 miles. And I'm like, why do you got to be so negative? We'll figure it out. But there's people that are practical, and they're roadmap type people too.
Yeah.
But that's not how my brain works. And I think it works really good to have two together.
Yeah. I think that's you two are so similar.
Yeah.
But
It's like,
he,
and honestly, I've already thought about it. I know I'm going to run out of gas. That's why I'm going to bring this extra tank with me, or whatever it is. You know, I've,
Sometimes.
I've already, I'm like, just make a new listing on the website, just roll with it. Well,
Oh, yeah. Jason's like king of making the video and saying, "Do you have it posted and listed on the website yet?" I'm like, "You just made the video."
Okay,
No, I
so
gotta have this.
I have Tug with me, and you don't know Tug yet, but Tug is my son that's 22 yesterday. He's awesome. What he doesn't realize is when I tell him something, I expect it to be done 5 minutes ago. And
Yeah.
like if I tell him to post something, I expected it to be posted 5 minutes ago. And then when it's not posted till end of day or noon, I'm thinking, what are we doing here? And the truth is, for what I'm doing, it doesn't matter. For you guys, it probably does matter and generate sales. Or every time he posts something, as soon as he posts it, I always call him and say, "Oh, this is such a good post, but let me tell you everything you need to fix." And the thing is, I don't have time to do it, and I don't have the
Or if you
skills
don't
to
know
do it.
how.
And edit and poor Tug, he's so patient with me because all I do is kick his butt all day long.
yeah,
Sounds like Jason.
yeah, a
And
lot.
and what's fun is I'm really holding back because there's a lot of stuff deep inside my mind, like that I sound like I'm being mean, but there's the mean part of me that I'm not letting out. But I keep that guy inside all the time.
Yeah, mine
Bless
comes
our
out
hearts.
sometimes, but
You're getting better about it.
yeah.
So tell
Oh,
me too, you made a post a while ago, you did, about not having any work and having to lay people off. Do you
Oh
remember
yeah.
that? How long ago was
That
that?
was a podcast. Yeah. We so that would have been 2000 and
2023,
So that wasn't this year.
2022,
That was an
20.
old one.
It was, yeah. It was
Uh,
older post. It was 2022, but yeah, definitely
2022.
been in that position
Yep.
more than one time.
I mean, that's the scariest part. Not because,
We
like,
always
I
figured
guess,
out how to make it work though.
yeah, I guess earlier I had said, I don't care, or it's just we're gonna roll with. I mean, but no, that's one of the parts that's the scariest part is payroll. Hey, 50,000, payroll is 50,000 bucks, and it's just like I got to come up with this every month. Every month I got to come up with that, and material bill comes in 70, 80,000 every month, and it's like holy cow, and it's just I don't know.
and your employees who are working with you, who are amazing, they probably see all the product that you're shipping out, and they probably think, "Oh, these guys are killing it. Like these guys are making so much money." And it's the same with us. We have lots of equipment. We buy lots of equipment. We spend hundreds and hundreds and thousands of dollars on equipment, and it looks like we're doing really good. But they don't realize that we're 30 days away from bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Some
Uh,
days that dwindles and that gets close, some days that gets close to 3 days away, but
yeah,
it's always out there somewhere.
Right.
yeah. A lot of our business was organic, just organic. And in the beginning, going live was great for us. We'd go live, we'd sell 7 or 8 rocket stoves on a live, and we had got to that point where we'd go live 3 or 4 times a day, and it just kept growing like that. And um, I lost my train of thought
Let me
again.
tell you, let me tell you. So when I reached out to you guys, one of the things is I've watched you guys for a while, and because of the relationship I have with my wife, I absolutely love businesses where the husbands and the wives work together, because I have so much respect for what it actually takes to make that work.
Mhm.
And then the other thing too is, so we've looked at rocket stoves and even those grills that we've got from you guys. And when I reached out to you, and when Tug reached out to you and said, "Hey, we'd like someone," you guys didn't even hesitate. And that's the way I do things. Like for me, I don't care about the money. I just want to do it. I just want to try and see if something works. And he reached out to you guys, and he's like, "Hey, what do you think?" And you guys were on it. And that's when I told Tug, "You know what? We're going to do a giveaway, and we're just going to give away 10 of those grills." We absolutely love them, by the way. My son H that cooks with them, he's out 2 hours away working right now, and he loves it because he just pulls it out. It's so handy and easy. What's interesting is since we've looked at your page, a whole bunch of those grills have showed up. You know how that works? But the thing is, the energy that comes off of you guys and your business is absolutely amazing. And that's why people keep buying and buying. You can go anywhere and buy, but the fact that we reached out to you guys and you guys were so gracious, we're like, yeah, we want to partner with those guys and help promote their stuff because these guys are awesome.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate that. But I mean, that's something, that goes back to like building the shop culture. I've got numbers in place when people reach out to us. Um, I'm a big believer in giving people's opportunity. So, we'll have someone that has 500 followers on YouTube reach out and they're like, "Hey, I'm trying to start a hunting channel. I thought it'd be really cool, do like some kill and cook on the hauler grill out at hunting camp or something like that. Would you be at, yep, no problem. Whoop, what's your address?" And because I think it's what goes around comes around, right? And I just think that they can use my name, show my product on their YouTube channel, and then I can use the followings that I have and I would share that product. I mean, is that not a win-win business deal for anyone?
It's the best. And it's an open hand type thing.
Yeah.
Because for me, again, the bottom line is we need money to feed our family. You got to have a hot shower. Your kids have got to eat. But for me, beyond that, I don't care about much of it. I just would rather go through life with people that were amazing and not get hung up on the small details.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So when it comes back down to that, the culture, the people in our customer service and stuff like that, they know that when people call and they reach out, they don't need to wait on me to come and say, yeah, they know, oh, Jason would send him one. They know if a customer calls and has a bad experience, they know what Jason would do to solve that problem. And that's just part of building that culture. And so, yeah, when you guys reached out, it was absolutely, let's do it.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. So on as far as equipment and stuff goes, how do you know what you need next in your business? And how are you setting goals? Like, do you have goals that are inside your mind, or are you just pushing as hard as you can? Do you need this new machine, this new machine? How do you go about buying that? Do you buy stuff before you can afford it and you just know you're going to force yourself into working your way through it, or what are you doing? I do see you're driving a crappy truck. Are you still driving a crappy truck?
Yeah.
If you are,
We
it
don't
makes
have a
me
truck
really
right
happy.
now.
It
We don't
does.
have a truck.
Yeah, I still drive that it broke down and we're doing a patch to it right now as cheap as possible, but it'll be back up and running for sure. But when it comes to equipment, like right now, we're in a phase right now where our bottleneck is we're running two laser tables and our bottleneck is our laser tables. And we're
Need
doing
another one.
we need another laser table. And we're looking at, okay, let's add another shift. Well, if I'm gonna get the capacity, I need to run another shift. But this is what it's gonna cost me to hire two, because I'm not gonna have one guy here by himself at night. So it will cost me two guys here at night, and we'll start a whole other shift. This is probably what it's gonna cost to pay them for 1 year. This is what this machine will cost. So
Yeah, we've ran the numbers and it's cheaper to buy another table and just have them manage 3 tables.
yep,
Because the tables, it's not like we're running the same sheets every day. So it's really just a matter of keep the tables loaded and keep them unloaded and load them and unload them. And you're running the same files. So it's not that I don't think it'll really take more hours. Is we're gonna run them the same number of hours in the day, I guess. Just have another table they manage.
yeah. We're gonna add equipment to basically so we can still work our normal 6 to 4:30, but we'll be able to get more output because we're running the other table. And what we would be able to produce in 1 day would now allow us, because right now we've got people that want to carry our grills and do distribution, and there's tons of other opportunities. The people are there to do it, and we can't fulfill them. We're still direct to consumer, and direct to consumer is consuming our equipment currently.
Mm.
So that's my thought process on that. And I'm like, well, let's add another. We're gonna add another laser table here. Let's get some money figured out, and how we're gonna do this. Are we gonna just write a check for this, or are we gonna go through some finance options? It's just
We've learned to, I think, financing the stuff because we need to keep our cash flow consistent. And we know those machines, like our machines have paid for themselves. Like our 2 kilowatt, our with the tube laser, that's been paid for. It's paid for itself because it just runs and runs and runs and runs and like.
yeah.
But your truck's broke right now, and you're
And we won't buy a new truck.
We got a nice Miranda drives a nice what it's
I drive an Expedition,
an Expedition.
but
I think that's our just a family vehicle. It's a 2024. What is it?
3.
3.
is it
And-
is it got the same engine? It's got its original engine, and
Yeah.
It is a Ford.
nice.
But it's nice. It's running.
um
Actually, it's my second one.
the
A lot of people don't realize that, though. I see people that go into business, and the first thing they do is go out and buy a new truck.
1,000. Yeah.
It's
we see it a lot
crazy.
in the yeah,
And
definitely.
as soon as you see that, it doesn't matter what business that you're in, you can know, oh, those guys are going to be successful, or oh, those guys are going to struggle. Because we spend a lot of money on equipment, and my wife we just clean the oil up off the garage once a week, and from her oil leak, and she knows her car's not making any money, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
she's awesome.
Well, if you have a direct now, if your business is directly tied to owning a truck, yeah, that's one thing. But there's, we got a Carl who kind of does our numbers, and
We got a Carl.
We
His
got a
name
Carl.
is Carl.
We need a Carl.
Carl. He's a data analyst.
and
He runs numbers.
we're always running numbers. I'm always asking them this.
number people, so
and-
we hire that.
It just helps me. It helps me make decisions.
Yeah.
And you don't make your money back on a brand new truck. You don't. And guys will argue.
I am
that.
all for Jason buying tools. And like I know we poke fun in videos, like,
Yeah.
oh, you buying another tool, but I'm 100% for it. I think like buying the tools is the best thing we can do. Now if he were to be like, I'm buying this $90,000 truck, I'd probably have something to say about it. Because it's not gonna make you any money. We're not a service company
Yeah.
either, so that's different.
I know guys that bought a brand new truck when they started their little fab shops, and it's going to make them look more professional when they go to quote jobs. And the story I tell them, I delivered my first ever custom gate job with a little aluminum trailer, pulling it with a white Subaru. And I pulled up to that place with a generator, a welding machine.
Oh, and I was there with a kid in the back seat, and I let him play in the grass while we put the.
This is our first ever job, and that's how I'm installing these gates. And all of my tools, I got a picture I'm gonna post on Facebook.
The cool thing was the Subaru had a really big back, trunk, so you could put a lot of stuff in there.
Just make it happen, huh?
And we made it happen.
We have a picture. We have to post that soon.
When probably, I don't know, this has been probably 10 years ago, maybe 15. I had a old 1970 Cadillac Coupe de Ville, not a cool car. It was a 4-door Cadillac we bought from an old guy for like $2,000. And I would drive that car to go bid on jobs. And I pulled up to a job one time to give a guy pricing, and there were a whole bunch of other guys in like really nice 4-wheel drive pickup trucks. And he looked at my car and he's like, I don't think we need you to bid on our job. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, do you see what these other guys are driving? And he made a point out of it. And I had plenty of equipment and stuff, but in my mind, I thought, if you're that shallow, you're not somebody I want to be working for. And I honestly did not care. My wife has a little Mazda truck that she got from her grandpa, and I think it's 30 years old or 20 years old. I think it's 30 years old now. Anyways, it's got a little rust on the side. It's a stick shift, and it had a leak under the oil pan. And to fix the oil pan, they actually have to pull the motor. And I said, well, what's that going to cost? And they said, it's probably going to cost $2,500. And your truck's not worth that much. I'm like, we are absolutely doing it. So they pulled the engine and we're putting all new gaskets in it and putting new oil pan, because I love that truck and I love driving that truck to jobs. And me and my wife on the weekends, we drive it around. And the thing I love about it is nobody has any expectations of me whatsoever when I'm driving that truck.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the
Yep.
best. And I don't care. I seriously do not care. I have a neighbor that has, they bought like a brand new Lamborghini, and they have a garage that has, the garage has like glass. They build these garages for your house so you can kind of see in the garage. It's kind of like a shadow box. And I love that that's what he's happy with. But I couldn't be more proud to pull up to like a really fancy place and be driving this little Mazda that looks like crap, because I do not care.
Well, I remember growing up, the guys that influenced me always, they were the guys that always just, they had new trucks. And I don't know, it was just in my space, living in a trailer park, like when you saw someone with a new truck, that man, I want to do what that man does. And most of the time it was blue collar jobs. And there's the vehicle you drive, you were saying earlier, and the point I was trying to make here is the vehicle you drive says a lot about you in a lot of different ways. And it even goes to the employees as well. I mean, I got employees that drive better vehicles than I do. And
You know what though?
I spend money where I think I should spend money. I get people sometimes make fun of me for driving an older truck. Your business ain't doing that good, those types of comments. But I don't know. Maybe one day I'll want a new
Buy a
truck.
truck
I
that's a
don't know.
tax write-off, depreciate it at the, the whole truck.
That never made sense to me either. Like, why would I go spend more money? That never made sense to me either. All the way some people talking
The
about.
reason I buy new equipment every year is because my wife wants the write-off. I'm like, okay, you're smarter than I am. You got a math major. Okay, I'll go buy it.
But that equipment's making you money.
It is, but I agree
truck
that it's so dumb to go. It's like the whole thing where we do daylight savings, and they talk about cutting off only the white men would cut off the bottom of the blanket and sew it to the top of the blanket and say they had a longer day. To
Yeah.
me, that's how the tax write-off is.
Yeah. We go through that, and it's like we did have a tax lady tell us, you should spend something. And I'm like, well, what's the tax bill? Well, it's this. Do you realize how much I would have to spend to even get that tax bill to
Like, I'll
drop?
just pay the taxes.
To get that tax bill to drop 30,000, you realize how much I got to spend on equipment? It doesn't
Yeah.
make sense to me. I'm just going to pay the tax bill right now.
Yeah,
At this time, that's what I'm going to do. And that's just how we did it. And we just, yeah, that's it.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm excited to watch you guys over the next 5 to 10 years to see how things go.
Yeah.
And I'm excited again that you're working together as husband and wife and doing what you're doing. And I'm also super, super excited selfishly that you grew up in a trailer and you're out here kicking trash and you have no idea what you're doing, but you're still winning. There's nothing can make me happier. And if you never bought a new truck, but your shop was like 100,000 square feet and you're still driving a piece of crap, I would be so happy, because the stuff that matters you're taking care of, and the stuff that doesn't matter doesn't matter.
Yeah. I 100.
Well,
That's what we're trying to do. But you hit the nail on the head. The one thing I've learned that where my ego was in the way in the few beginning of the years is I felt like I had to be the guy. I felt like I was the guy that was going to weld it, design it, put it together, answer the phones, because I've learned to hire people smarter than me. And I figured that out about 2 years ago. And I've been I've been building a team, and we're getting the right people in there. We're taking care of them.
If they ain't it, they out.
They ain't it, they out.
How long does it take you to decide that?
I'll know in a week.
And you just tell them you're out?
Sometimes I wish we would have learned sooner. Like if we would have just
Yeah.
known, like now we're doing better about it now. We do know what A players are like, and
I never worked with an A player until I worked with an A player. Like you don't understand the definition of an A player, B player, C player until you've worked with an A player, and you're like, okay, imagine chaos, but is chaos organized and formatted? I'm very specific in my job of where my skill set is at, and in this business, my skill set is kind of the vision and the ideas and making the action happen, because I'll make the action happen. We need to do this. People don't want me on on their podcast. I started our own podcast. People don't want me on their barbecue competition. I'm gonna start my own barbecue competition. Like I've always just
Our minds work a lot alike. The thing that I'm learning too is how hard it is to get A players, and I have some A players, but what's frustrating is our team below those guys is so weak. And the A players are just over the top awesome. And what's tough with us, well, and you too, we need lots and lots of employees. We have lots of equipment. We need lots of people in there. And it's tough when you have players that are the C and B players, or you have the C and D players that you can't improve. And then the A players are having to carry them. That's part of the leadership stuff that I'm trying to work on and learn and do. And what's interesting, I've been talking to my guys. So it's not that hard to be an A player, but it's easy to see somebody that's not. And a guy that wins shows up early on time. You don't ever have to tell a A player guy to show up early. The guy that's the D player, the C player, he's the guy that shows up about 5 minutes late, half hour late, and you're like, come on. The B, D, C player is the guy that when you go by that you've had a safety meeting about, look, you need to have this guard on the grinder when you're grinding because I don't want your eye to come out, or you need to be wearing your safety glasses when you're grinding because I want you to at work tomorrow. That guy that every day you have to tell him to do that, that guy, really, you need to get him off the team. And I'm trying to figure out how to get that guy up to the A player level, but that's so difficult because it just seems like you're either born with those abilities or you're not. And it seems like the C and D players, I'm trying to figure out how to get them to improve. And it's really hard to find A players because they're usually got a really good spot somewhere. But all of our businesses would blow up if we had A players that just showed up to work on time and were self-motivated and wanted to win on their own.
Yeah. And if, like I try to express to the team, it's like, if you guys, like if everyone could just step up, and it would increase efficiencies, do all of these things, guys, we're in it to win it together. Like I'm not going to go off and buy a new truck. I'm going to give you guys a bonus. I'm going to do this. It's the hardest part I've had is I feel like everyone in that shop isn't going to steer the ship, but man, I need every single one of them on deck with me. You know what I mean? I'm going to steer
or as hard as they can and rowing
and knowing that we're going to this is going somewhere. This is we had a morning meeting not back, and I said, guys, I'm asking y'all to take a risk with me because we were talking about kind of in the first quarter there, and I constantly want to give bonuses. I want people to love working for Chiasson Smoke. And we just didn't quite hit some marks for kind of like first quarter. And I said, I'm asking y'all to take a risk with me here. I got some skin in the game. Y'all put some skin in the game. Let's not do raises right now. Let's go a little bit longer and see what we can put together. And everybody stepped up. Everybody stepped up, said, hey, yeah, we'll do that. I want to pay my guys well. And gals.
I want my guys to win. I want everybody that works with me to have the very best life that they can have.
Yep.
And one of the things that we've been dealing with as I talk with the other leaders in my business is, how do I get this guy to care? And the problem is, I care more about this guy and his job than he does. And when it's payday and he only has 60 hours and 50 hours, I sit there and think, man, what do I need to do to get this guy more hours? But that's the work that he's put in. But me, I want him to have 80 hours, 120. I want him to have a good life so that he can take good care of his family. But I'm trying to find the balance between, sometimes I give too much when people, sometimes I care more than they care. And I do it at the expense of my family, at the expense of my wife having a new car with the new engine. I will take money that I should be taking care of my family with, and take care of people around me that maybe are not willing to do it. And what's tough is I have to check myself. I used to carry cash with me all the time. I quit carrying cash because I would just give it all away. And that's probably because I grew up in a trailer and grew up poor. We probably need to see therapy
Spirit
for that,
brother.
Jason. But I seriously,
Oh, Miranda gets mad. I'll tell her. I'm like, pull 1,000 out the bank. Like, I just said,
And I'm
pull
like,
1,000.
my accountant's
Why?
gonna be like,
You're like, why?
what is that for?
I'm like, I need 1,000. Just give me 1,000 in cash. But yeah, I want them to win. And the beauty of this social media is, I feel like we've been able to connect with our customers that can see, they look at our prices, they look at what we're trying to put together, and they can see what, like, they're putting some risk in it too. It's like, you know what? I'll buy a grill from you, and I'll support what you got going on here. And yeah, it's turned into a large community of,
well, I think the importance of you doing that is the fact that other people want you to win. The other day, I had a guy that was transporting our dozer, and he's like, "Hey, I seen that grill that you guys had. Where did you get that?" And I had Tug just put an order in, and he sent it to the guy, and the guy got it 2 days later, and the guy was like, "Man, I love it." And the thing that I love about it is because it's supporting community. Like,
yeah,
I don't care about the cost of the grill. The fact that it's putting this big circle and it's sending, and you guys probably made 30 cents off it, maybe 3 cents, I don't know, but it gave your guys something else to do, and it's actually
Right.
somebody that I care about, and we'll continue to do that over and over. And I love the whole community thing all the time, and that, for me, that's what life's all about, is community and winning together.
Yeah. Well, when I came in with that grill, it was like, okay, a lot of people, rocket stoves aren't for everyone, right? And we reach that community, and we're a part of that space. We have a part of that market share. You know, there's other rocket stove builders. Then you get into the little portable charcoal grill. Your construction guys that are on location sometimes and just want to do something really quick and have charcoal flavor. It's the perfect grill for that. And when we stepped in the space, it was like, we can make this grill for $99 and make money on it because of everything that my mind seen a year ago. I want to tell you this story. In July of 2025, that 6 kilowatt was installed in that shop. We started running rocket stove parts and just rolling. And I said, you know, I've always wanted to get into the portable grill space. We always had our collapsible grill that we could cut on plasma. And now we got this laser. I said, let's get into this space. So I went and I bought the file that everybody else has. If I didn't have time to draw the file, bought the file. I said, this thing needs a griddle, and this solid grate across it is a pain in the butt. Give me 3 little grates. Designed it in SolidWorks, sent it to that laser. That laser started cutting them out. Just like that. We made 3 videos on that. In August, between August and December, we sold over $1 million in revenue of hauler grills from August to December off of that $250,000 laser table I put in my shop in July.
And did you have the money to do that, or were you scared to death?
I got it.
When you did? I wrote a check. Do you ever remember on the Cowboy Way when Woody Harrelson was always going to write somebody a personal check?
Yeah. And when someone says to me, "Oh, social media don't work," man, you got to.
We had no ads behind that. That was all
Yep.
organic in the beginning. I mean, for the first 3 months. And then,
I tell people all the it's not to cut you off, but I tell people all the time, like, man, just post your content, show what you're doing, and have the compassion behind it. If you truly think this is a cool grill, because I looked at the space, I saw what was out there, and I knew what the improvements needed to be,
How
and we
much
executed.
how much work is it when you put somebody else's logo on it? Does that increase the time and kind of kick you in the butts that it's all these different
yeah,
blinks that you've got to
that's
do?
why we offered it like 5 or more.
Yeah,
Because yeah, doing just one at a time, it would kill our production rate. It would.
because what I think is for a lot of these construction companies, the dirt guys, it would take nothing. Like they would love to have their logo on that, and
Mhm.
if they have 10 or 15 guys, they spend
Yeah.
2 grand and put it together. And that's one of the things I've thought about too is maybe doing a giveaway with that grill and have it be that they would have their logo in it.
Mhm.
Just because I think that would be cool for construction companies to have their guys all have it and kind of have some
Yeah, we
ownership
have
in
a
it.
whole pricing structure for our corporate
Yeah.
gifts. I mean, it was a huge. We had
Yeah.
companies ordering 70, 100 grills at a time,
We
all for
started
corporate gifts.
like
Yeah.
October, I think. We got caught up. See, we got behind. We we changed the design a little bit on the grill grates. We had way more slots than we needed, so we cut that down. Then we realized we could cut on air on our laser because we bought a sander now that we could put all the product through. So we cut our time in half when we did that. So then
Yeah.
that's when we caught up. Like we were behind. I think it was like what was our lead time? Like almost 6 weeks to get a
Mm.
hauler because we just couldn't keep up. It just like
It's always adjusting every week, huh? Because
Yep.
what
so,
worked last week, next week you're like, what happened? I thought everything was balanced and everything goes
yep.
to poo, and you're like, oh my goodness, it's like we don't know
Yep.
what we're doing.
But it's the experience from the rocket stove
Oh
thing.
yeah.
We went through it with rocket stoves. We went through it again with hauler grills. We learned the equipment we need. Now we're so efficient at it. Now, okay, now it's starting to make sense.
Yeah,
But
we realized where our pain points were. Like shipping wasn't something we looked at as much as we did the welding and the processes between the laser and the welding. And then once we like accumulated 2,500 pending orders in a couple weeks, we were like doing the math. Like there's no way. We had to restructure shipping. We had to we really like redesigned the shipping area in our shop
Which you have no
180.
idea what you're doing again, right? And
Yeah,
you're
and it
just
was
figuring it
like
out.
well, I know that
we
I
were
can
doing
tell.
wasn't working, and that's when we realized like if you don't like change in our company, you can't be here. Like we change. Like your welding table may be over there next week. Like and if you don't like it, well, because I mean we're not doing that, but there's there's definitely some adjusting you have to do with our company because we can skyrocket overnight, and we've done it
I
a
saw a
couple times.
post. There's a guy named Jimmy Starbucks. He's a excavator from Australia who's awesome and built a really amazing business. And he had a post today of a guy, and the guy was talking about the Formula One race car teams, about how they strip that car down to nothing all the time and look through everything to find out how to add like a half second to their speed. And I think what happens in a business is you get to the point that let's say your business, you can only run like with a 350 motor and it's turned up, it's putting out as much horsepower as it can. So you can't put more fuel in it. You can't make it go faster by giving it more power. So you have to strip it down and start looking at all these different ways to make it go faster. And I think what happens with business with a lot of us is we kind of get content and we don't want to put the work into it to find out what we need to do to improve. And so I think that we don't get everything out of it that we can. And sometimes we think, oh, we need to add more fuel. Well, that's not the problem. Oh, you got to do this. And the thing about a business that's hard is you've got to reevaluate it every day, every week to find out how to make it work better and better. And it is change. And a lot of times there's guys that'll be with you and they're like, oh, you guys are changing too much, but they don't realize that you've got to keep adapting because you're going to be bankrupt in 30 days.
Right. You're gonna
So
be behind. Right.
it's crazy how much you have to look it over and over and over. Even maybe if you've got two guys that are welding together, and you find out that the reason they're not getting stuff done is they're stopping and talking too much. And
Yep.
it's like school kids. I got to move this guy over here in the
Yeah,
corner and put a big
we had that
shield.
happen for sure.
That happened in the past.
We've had that happen, and then the culture kind of goes to lax, and they're not picking up a welder for 45 minutes to an hour in the morning, and it's like, okay, well, you got to move them out, and then once you move them out, you realize, wow,
Yeah.
But it improves
then
the
people
culture
are
of the whole
working and
business.
We've had very good, and then we've had good people that just fell in with the bad apple, the
Yeah.
rotten apples, and
Yeah.
it made them go bad. I mean, I've fired two of them in the same day.
Yeah.
It was
it was unfortunate, because I think it wouldn't have had to have been that way if they wouldn't have fell into
Well,
leisurely.
I've had that. I've had cancer in my company where one guy, what was bad is you have guys that were good guys and who were good cultural guys and also were good company guys.
Yep.
And then you get one bad influence that starts telling them, hey, these guys aren't treating you right. Oh, these guys are doing this. And then that guy starts listening. And we've lost really good help that were still kind of brokenhearted because they were so amazing, but they bought
Mhm.
into all the BS that somebody
Yep.
was feeding them.
And I think right now we're at a position where if we bring somebody new in, our team recognizes like, you know, they're too much of this. They're too talky or this or that. Like, and they recognize that because they are really knowing like we have 10 hours in a day. Like we got to
And they
run
want the business to win.
yeah, 100%. And I think we got that team right now.
Yep. You described earlier, you said cancer and that's what, but that was inexperience on our part. We didn't know better. And we had
yeah,
it.
we held on to some people way too long, and
Yeah. We had the people that was hiring all their family and it was all cancer. And it was just, and you don't realize it because you're just kind of caught up in the day to day. And you don't realize they didn't actually care about the business. They didn't care about the success of Chiasson Smoke. They cared about, well, how much can I get paid? Oh man, I could sit here on my phone and still get paid. And it's all on camera. We got it all, and it was a bad it was a bad time for us. We moved too fast, and we learned from it, and that was the key.
Well, you also, what's tough is you learn this is a leadership again thing
Yep.
yeah,
where
100%.
you learn that you have to be the leader and maybe you can't be so nice. And, like for me, I just want everybody to get along, have a good time, enjoy work. And then I find out sometimes, okay, I've got to kick this guy's butt today. And I've got to when I see it, I got to call it out right now. Usually I don't want to say anything because I don't want anybody to feel bad. But if I'm a good leader, I got to call it as I see it that day.
Yep.
And for me, that's tough, but it's something that I have to do. And it's something I've had to learn.
No, you asked. I mean, I'm the A word around. I mean, what do you was? I'm the asshole. You know.
Yeah.
That's,
But you know what? Everybody I know that's really, really successful and wins, they kind of take all the emotion and the fluff out of it. And at the end of the day, really the only person that likes you is your wife. And so all these other people, at some point, they're not going to like you and they're not going to forgive you at the end of the day. And so I don't know. For me, that's a fine balance that I'm trying to find where the middle ground is for that.
yeah, I guess.
I think it's been a lot better too. I think we've vocalized it, how we feel, what we're trying to do. And I think just doing that, people are getting it. They're not going to stand around and talk for an hour, like that's just not our team right now. They're just not going to do that.
And you've got
And
to
they
be
know if
consistent.
they know if they do, it's just,
It
they
just
know
takes a
that.
lot more work for you. Again, it comes to me having to tell people to hold this together. I just want you to show up to work and do it. The one guy that runs my commercial excavating, the thing that we're learning is that we need to be vocal every day, all day long. And as soon as there's something going on, we need to say it. And we need to quit worrying about hurting people's feelings and take the emotion out of it. And it just is what it is.
that's the hardest part, is taking the emotion out of it, especially with as husband and wife. Because
Yeah.
there's sometimes it's just, and for me, my brain doesn't work like her brain. So for me, it's I don't want to say like I just come up with solutions, but I look at it, and I don't know if it's my dairy farming background. I don't know what it is, but I've always been this tinker guy. I can look at problems. How can this be better? What can we do? And if I can't figure it out, who do we call? When do we call them? Don't email them. Call them. I want an answer now. Get
And
them on
let's
the,
do it
you know,
right this second,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes it's too much for people. Um, like we just hired a content creator person, and I'm just trying to express to them, like, this is fast paced. This is not drink your coffee. This is fast paced. I can text you on. I might text you on a Saturday. Hey, we need this video. We need, because I'm working Saturday and Sunday, and
How's that
um,
working out for you so far?
I haven't gone completely broke yet. I think, I mean, it gets low, but uh,
But are they
uh,
are they producing like you need it to, and they're creating the videos the way that you want to see them?
Oh,
And
we haven't.
yeah, she hasn't started yet.
uh,
We were starting on board now.
She's
oh,
she's gonna be helping. She's gonna be part of the content. She's gonna be posting the things we need posted when we need to post it. We are very much like record and post with like I'll record him and we will post it like that hour.
no edits, just make it happen.
Well, we'll edit
We
quick
record, we
and
edit while we record.
and we move
I
quick.
mean, we're fast.
She
But
probably won't do that stuff, but she'll take. We have older content. We have other things she can help.
she has a creative background. She she
Yeah,
she likes the space. She enjoys content
she can
creation.
schedule posts if we
She's
have.
very organized, detail oriented, and she's gonna basically be someone that can help catch the papers as I'm throwing them.
Yeah, you
Just,
almost like
all right, we got this. We have our
as like an assistant. Just somebody we can
we have
have
our barbecue
with
event
us.
coming up in August, and I want to start planning for that. I want to start marketing for that. I need that organized. Find a planner. Get all that stuff done. And
Yeah, we're fine if she doesn't know how to plan an event, but find somebody to help us.
Make it
Like we need
happen.
to move.
yep,
So what advice would you give somebody that says, let's say somebody needs to do some marketing with their business, I'll tell you, with me, I've been doing social media for a long time. I've never done a good job at it. My biggest fear is exposing the real me to the community. But what advice would you give somebody who is wanting to use social media to market their company or their business?
I would say put more effort into it than you think. A lot of people start their business for love of the craft. Especially a lot of the businesses we talk to are welding shops and things like that. They love the craft, and that drives them to start the business, but then they don't understand marketing and how it works. And I've learned that I say this to Miranda all the time. It's just marketing. It's just marketing.
It's
So,
sales. Which
but
is
it's
marketing.
it's sales. I mean, it's top of funnel, but yeah, the point is, if we come up with a product, depending on how much we want to push that product and how much attention we want to get on it, depends on how much we're willing to show up on social media about it. And that's a direct correlation to,
We will spend at least 4 hours a day on social media.
Now, does that include recording and editing, or is that
That's
just total?
that's recording, editing,
I see
posting.
4 hours, like 24 hours, but
But
And
no,
then
there's always stuff going out throughout the day.
yeah,
But
yeah.
we try to make sure that we have content posted, and we were
And we
working
have
on it.
days where, I mean, we always post something, no doubt, but we have days where we drop the ball on our goal of getting stuff posted. But that's when it comes to we're in the shop operating, like we're okay, so and
Yep.
so's not here, okay, but we got to operate the laser table today. Like we're really trying to avoid that right now because we really have to work on this business and do the things that none of the employees can do. We don't have salesmen. We're the salespeople. We
Yep.
create the content and the story and sell the product. And so we've really had to. step out more than we are comfortable with, but we're getting more comfortable knowing like, okay, we have a good team, we trust them, like we have to get out. We have to hire people to help us do all these little things. I mean, I never
And
thought I would have somebody doing my laundry and cleaning my house and everything, so I didn't have to do that. And so I could
Yeah.
focus more on the business.
So how many times do you recommend posting a day to make a difference?
I say 3 to 5 videos.
And how long
Uh,
are those videos?
We're all short form. I'm usually always under 30 seconds. I have some that go over a minute, depending on what the point I'm trying to get across.
Minute 30 or less on all our videos,
Yeah.
pretty much. We're
And
not,
where are you posting? Where should somebody post?
we post on TikTok, Instagram,
All
Facebook,
of them.
Snapchat.
X.
And do you
And-
have an app that will post it to all of them at the same time, or are you posting to each one of them individually?
So we do use Repurpose.io, which will do that, but we saw how the momentum was dropping because every every platform kind of has a different way to approach it. It could be the same video, but it should be a different sound, a different text on screen because Instagram seems to do really well if you're really getting into the feels, like the feels and the emotion of small business or promoting a product. If the experience, Facebook, on the other hand, it seems to be more of a, uh, without sounding rude, like just an older crowd that wants more like direction, kind of like that crowd seems to, if you don't like put a link or explain something very clearly, they're mad at you, and then while Instagram, it's like you don't even have to put anything, they can figure it out.
Right.
They know to click the profile. It's just like a different audience.
Yeah.
It is different audience. Like on TikTok, we decided in like I don't know, October, November that we were going to be on TikTok seller. So we got off of the personal account and switched to business and cuz they're pushing TikTok shop
Yeah.
and we have products. So we're like, let's get on TikTok shop and it's been good for us. They have more stricter rules than our website, obviously, like ship within X amount of time. And that's why we were always timid to do it because we were like, okay, if we get a huge spike, like
Yeah.
all these people get skipped because TikTok orders have to go out
Mm.
first. So we've been messing with that. But that's one reason why repurpose IO that we use, we can't use it as much as we used to because when we used it on TikTok, personal, we could use all the trending sounds and we could push it to all the platforms and we'd only have to post once. But now it's a little more work now, but
Yeah.
not bad. We have to post, TikTok separately and then Instagram, Facebook together, and then TikTok gets pushed
Which
to.
takes a lot of work to start
Yep.
posting individually. So my one last question for you, because I know your brain's probably going crazy right now.
No, this has
Um,
been enjoyable.
um,
Find
what
somebody like Jason.
how do you find time? You went on vacation last week, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
How
Rare.
did you make that happen mentally?
The it's content. It's all content, and to make it happen is it's part of the schedule. It's work. It's part of it's another business that we have, Chiasson Media, but that's how you make it happen. It's like, how do you show up and go to work every day? Well, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're going to be recording content in South Louisiana. That's what we're doing. Get a flight. We got to go. We're going to bring the kids. I
How many
mean,
kids do you have?
3.
3.
And
Yeah.
boys or girls or what?
2 boys, 5 and 7, and then an 11-year-old girl.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're busy.
Well,
Yeah.
I think you guys are awesome, and I appreciate you sitting down with us for a minute.
Yeah, no.
Well, this has been a great podcast.
It's always interesting to meet people that are in, small business, and it's like they've all got the same mindset. It's like the education always seems to be around the same. Like I'm a high school dropout, I'm a high school dropout, but I went to take my GED and there was no remedials or anything. They're like, "Oh wow, you scored great." Went straight, took my SATs, did great on that, and then I went straight into. I said, "Well, I'm gonna go be a diesel mechanic," in trade school, and I was gonna start my own diesel shop. I had started my own diesel shop. Me and a buddy had started a diesel shop for a little while, rebuilding 6.0s. But it's
Yeah,
it's.
he was gonna fix the 6.0. I'm like, you don't have time for that.
I was like, I
I don't know
could do
what you're
that.
Can
talking
do
about.
it.
Please give me
I
a
got
break.
He
But
between one
knows.
and
He
three.
knows.
yeah,
He knows now.
and
Of 3 years ago.
it's so interesting meeting different levels. Like we meet business owners that are like that $100,000 a year revenue, and then you meet business owners that are at $1 million a year revenue, and then you meet business owners that are at a $3 million a year revenue. And it seems like as you scale, the mindset of the business owner starts to changing. Like I can tell you right now, you're probably a $5 million a year revenue business,
At least.
at least. At
That's
minute.
interesting. Yeah.
Just by talking to guys and at what level they're at. Yeah, I haven't looked into your business. I don't mean to
No.
Oh, you can look into it. You know
Mute
what's
it.
fun about
mute
it?
that. Yeah, edit that part out. But I can look at guys and just because of what I've learned and the way I watch people and the way I can just kind of tell by the way they understand culture or where they're at in their business and
Well,
what type of business they're
so
doing.
what I'm learning right now, I'm just sending a guy a text because I'm, they say that what is it, not micromanaging. What is it when you do multitasking? It doesn't work. They say you either focus on one thing or you focus on nothing.
Yeah.
Jason saw you grab his phone. He grabbed his phone. He was like, oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
So I
I do have-
had somebody in business the other day. Well, it was today, and they were talking to me about their business and about doing some things, and their mindset is kind of a little bit down. That's good, Doug. Their mindset's a little bit soft, and I said, so here's a couple of things. So, and you can tell how my brain goes all over. Jason appreciates this. So I found a piece of property the other day that I was looking at buying, but they wouldn't let me put trucks and commercial stuff on it. So I called my friend and I said, hey, there's this piece of property for sale. And it was a lot of money. It was close to $1 million. So that's not a lot of money, but sometimes that's a lot of money. So anyways, this guy, we do a lot of work for, he has a lot of commercial property. And he said, I was just laying in bed one night and he said, I just told myself, you need to quit being a sissy. So I got up the next morning and went and wrote them a check, emptied his bank account, and gave them a non-refundable cash deposit on the property. So then he had no idea, but he had to find out how to come up with like $800,000 cash, and he doesn't have that. But you've got to get in the mindset, and you guys are been doing this enough. You've got to quit being a sissy over and over. Don't be a sissy. Don't be a sissy, and you've got to quit being scared. And when you talk to people who are at that, I don't know, 500,000 to $1 million or whatever, the thing that's holding us all back is fear, and it's fear of what? We're afraid, if we do this, we're going to fail. You're not going to fail. You're going to learn how not to do it, and you're going to learn how to make it work. More importantly, when you do something like you going and buying your laser table or any of that stuff, you don't have any other choice but to make it work. When you moved into your new shop and you're scared to death, you don't have any other choice but to buy that shop, not know how you're going to do it, and just go to work. And then all of a sudden, you're going to have your new shop in this laser table, and you're going to be like, holy cow, how in the world did we work without this for the last 3 years? And fear is what
Say that
kills
Overhead
everybody.
crane is an
And
example.
if you're afraid to do something, go do it. Like whatever you're afraid of, go do that one thing. Get that out of your way, and you'll realize that thing that was scaring you and you went and did it, that it's actually, you opened the door wide open that's going to take you in a different direction.
Yep.
100%.
100,
And you don't
100%.
need to buy a new truck. Like you can have the old crappy truck and then still go do all the other stuff, and you're going to
function.
win.
Yeah, I always say it's like there has to be some level of I don't know how to explain it. Like I can't get someone excited about something, you know. It's like you hear the people in their business and they're just down and I'm like, okay, so what are some things you're doing? Like what are some ways you're trying to get out of this? Well, I just don't know what to do. And I can come up with 5 ideas, you know, and it's like, hey, we should do this. Hey, you should try this. Well, I've tried that. I don't know. And it's like, man,
This is
What
what I
did you
want,
mean?
Jason. I want to get away from that guy because I don't want his negativity to get
Oh
on me and
yeah,
Yeah.
touch
that's
me.
why we don't have. I tell them we
We
don't
don't
have
have
any
any
friends.
friends.
You know what? I don't either, and I don't care.
No.
And the reason is I don't know. It's okay. The problem is for me is most people are trying too hard to figure out a way or to make an excuse about why they can't do something or why they can't be who they want to be. I don't want to be around them. I want to be around people that want to win. I want to be around people who like to scare themselves and go do something stupid and have it work out. And that's who I want to be around. The guys that complain, I've got no need for them.
Yep.
I had a guy the other day at work. He's a guy on a job and he's like, oh, I'm trying to have a good attitude about being here. And I said, well, either you do or you don't. And I walked off because you know what? So the fun part about owning a business, and you two understand this, the fun part about owning a business is tomorrow's payroll, tomorrow's payday. It's going to cost me 50 grand. I have zero money, but I'm not complaining about it. And I'm not having a bad day. You're complaining about nothing. Like you're upset because this guy parked in the wrong place or because this guy put the wrong color paint on the splotch. Like the stuff you guys are worried about and upset about is so far down here with the problems that I'm dealing with. And so I've got no need or time for you in my life.
Yeah, and I try to express that to people all the time of just like, man, because I was there, when I was working for other people, I remember we'd be outside rebuilding an engine or something in the heat. We were working on compressor stations, and then our boss would drive up in his air conditioned, and I would always be the smart ass. Hey, what's that air condition set at? We're pouring down sweat, and he's on his phone and he's texting and he's like, well, thank you guys, he's bringing us water. And I'm like, hey, why don't you get up here and come pull some wrenches for a little while or something, like
That would
like I
probably be relaxing for him.
I
Yeah.
was that guy, and I had that negative tendencies, and sometimes I feel like Miranda kind of jabs at me sometimes whenever I'm coming up with an idea, and she's like, well, this could happen, and I'm like, yeah, there's a lot that could happen, but this could, and I look back on that and I'm like, man, so many people that we talk to that are somewhat down are still in that headspace. They're in that headspace because they don't think there's a way out. And I'm like, dude, listen to me. Listen to me. My family, I came from a broke family, like a divorced family, drugs, alcohol, a bad spot. My mom went through hell and I was her son and I watched her go through it and I was part of it. Um, I was living with other people as a young child just to help my mom not have to deal with work, with having to deal with taking care of me. As things got older, it changed. Dropped out of high school. I just couldn't. School just wasn't. I couldn't do school. I would get in a lot of fights. I don't know why. I was different. I always wanted to do something. I was always trying to do something different and make a business. And I don't know why, because no one had ever said, "Hey, you should try being in a business." Or it's just I wanted to do it. I don't know how. And I got into the Pirelli thing, and that was my first step. And like I'm gonna do my own thing, man. And I fell into the horse thing real hard. Like I got serious about it, and said I got to go out west, be in Montana. I got out in Montana and I was trying to make YouTube videos in Montana. And this is 2000, 2006, 2007. And it's like, man, how do I teach someone or express like, dude, it's okay to be broke. Just go do this and you could probably make a little bit. And then go do this and you could probably make a little bit. No, no, no. Don't buy that. Like I want to like just let everyone just experience it. Like, man, you can create a successful business. I promise. You just got to make a lot of sacrifices at first, and you got to look poor to everyone around you. And your bank account is always at zero. Miranda, I could ask Miranda right now, what's in the bank account? 180,000. I'm like, shit. What are we gonna do? We ain't gonna be able to make it next week.
So we actually, did we not put a post together? Our post today was, what did it say? I think it said something about running a small business. So the post that Tug put out there today was about running a business, and it's about how no matter how much money I have in my bank account, it's zero. And if
Yep.
I have $10,000, it's zero. And if I have 100,000, it's zero. And it is zero every single day. And every day of my life, when I get up, my bank account is at zero, and I have to get up and work
I
and run as hard and fast as I can to put money in the bank. And the other thing that I talk about was, like, if I get a check in for $10,000 or a check in for $100,000, I take $10,000 out of that check and I put it into a bank account that does not exist. And I just pull it as soon as the check comes in. I pull 10% and it goes away. And I don't put it into an account that's to buy the fancy sports car or anything. That money does not exist. And then when wintertime hits and things are really hard, then that money starts getting sucked back into my business account
Yep.
so that I can keep surviving. And then when I get a check in, same thing. But I tell you what, every single day I am broke. I am broke, 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 broke. And if you ask me today how much money I have in the bank account, it is $0. And I have got to get up tomorrow and run as fast and hard as I can.
Yep.
I'm every day.
I've got 5 businesses in my mind right now. I mean, I'm
They're all at zero.
I'm the exact.
Balls to the wall here.
But I
No.
will tell you this, if my mom or a family member calls and needs some money, then that's the money that so here's what's funny. I try to make sure I don't have access to money. Like, Venmo, my Venmo is hooked up to a bank account that's not got anything. When I need money, I call my wife and I say, hey, will you Venmo me some money? I got to give this person some money. The hard part about doing that is usually when I ask her for some money, it's because I have somebody that needs some money. And then she's my filter, but also she's really, really good with money, and she doesn't give money away. So she protects me, but I'm always broke unless somebody needs it, but
Yeah.
it works
Well,
for me.
Miranda's dad. So that happens all the time with Miranda. Miranda's dad had gave us a leg up financially. About halfway through, I think he had helped us buy our first plasma table on the condition that he wanted. How do you pay this off? I mean, we paid it off. Like the plan was there, and we needed an extra $10,000 basically because we had our.
It wasn't a lot of money, but to
It's
us
not-
it was a lot of
Back
money.
then,
that was
$1 million.
that was huge, and you had to convince the guy. He had a small business mindset, but he wasn't one about growth. He was kind of a hard ass, but he's like, I'll do it. So he did it. We paid him back as soon. I mean, there was nothing got paid until he got paid back in a sense. That was the mentality. And um, as that was happening, I lost track of my thoughts again.
Well, so here's what's fun. So my father-in-law, when I started I started an asphalt business before I had excavating business. My father-in-law loaned me $2,000, and that's what I started my business with. And my father-in-law and my wife are the reason that I actually could do anything. And it was because of him.
That reminds me of my point that I was so whenever people call and like I come across people that are having a hard time, like running into a situation, I'm still talking about what you were talking about earlier. Miranda, I'll call Miranda and say, "Hey, I need cash. What you need? I just need some money. Why? Because I'm sending so and so some money for their thing or whatever
And I don't even care what it
need.
is. I'm just giving them money for whatever. I don't know what
Yeah,
it's for.
I don't care. Like there was a guy, he was running a shop and his a windstorm came through and knocked his shop down, and he was running a good business, small shop guy. I called Miranda's up, hey, give me $2,000, and send him $2,000. And she's like, what are you doing? Or like, my sister will call or somebody, and I'll give him a little bit of a lecture, but I think back, like Grandpa Jack gave us that leg up. He was a little bit of a hard ass, but he gave us a leg up. And it's like I want to be able to do that the same. Like I want to help other people. Like I want people to have that same chance and that same opportunity.
I wonder if a psychologist would take a bunch of people that grew up in trailer parks or grew up the way we did, and if there's something about the mindset where money where you give money away because of the way that you were raised or something. When
I don't
in
know.
2008,
Has to be. Some of the
we
psychology.
pretty much were bankrupt. It was bad, bad, bad. I'd sold all my equipment except for a dump truck and a skid steer. Me and my wife had $0, and we actually had some snowboards that she put. There's a place here called KSL. It's kind of like Craigslist, and we needed to buy groceries. I don't remember if we had a new baby or not. Did we have a new baby in 2008? Maybe, I don't know. So in 2007 we did have a baby. I've got 7 kids, but she put on these snowboards for sale, and she put up these snow boots and bindings for sale. We needed money so bad, and we just needed money right then to buy groceries. So they found a lady there's a lady in Salt Lake was buying the snowboard and the stuff. So my wife gave it to me, and I did have a fuel card. I had a Phillips 66 card that I would use for fuel. I drove to Salt Lake. I sold this lady the snowboard and the bindings, and it was like $300 or $380. And then I had to get something at Home Depot for my business that I could buy with the credit card. So I went to Home Depot, and there was a red van there, and it was packed plumb full of clothes and luggage and stuff. And this guy was standing there, and he says, "Hey, I'm trying to get down to St. George. Is there any way you can put gas in my car?" And I learned a long time ago not to give money to people for gas because they never needed gas. I learned to go to the gas station with them and fill them up, because sometimes when I do that, I'd put the nozzle in and I'd squeeze it, and it was like $1.50. They didn't need gas. So I took this guy to the gas station. I filled his car up. He was bone dry, so I filled it all the way up with gas. He obviously needed gas. And then when I was done, I hung up the gas pump, and I reached in my pocket, and I pulled out the $380 for groceries, and I gave it to the guy, and I said, "Look, you're going to need this more than I do, because I don't ever worry about money. I'll know I'll just get some more. I just don't know when it's going to be." Then when
Yeah.
I got home, my wife's like, "Oh, I'm so glad you're home. Do you have the money we can go buy groceries?" I'm like, "Actually, I don't. Let me tell you what happened." So that's why I
Yeah.
don't keep money. But I also wonder if when you grow up in a tough situation, it's kind of meaningless for you, and you
Yeah.
give it away
Like we
easily.
do. We do our giveaways. We do. I just, yeah, I don't know.
No, I mean, we gave away a $20,000 plasma table. We could have sold it,
Mm,
Yeah,
but we were like, no, we want this to help somebody. And
yeah. I just want the good energy from it, and maybe it's
yeah,
selfish on my part, but I love to help people out when I can.
well, when the hurricane went through North Carolina, and I didn't realize we had so many followers from there, that were reaching out. They were reaching out to us, and it was like, man, it would really be. This is what's happening here. Rocket stoves would fit. Like they would needed to be here. I walked into that shop. It was a Friday. I walked into that shop, and I counted what we had, and I said I could get 75 of them made by Monday and have them shipped out. So I needed help with the logistics. Well, I had no one who to call. Well, I got a community, so I reached out to the community. Boom, trucking companies were calling. I basically posted about it. Trucking companies were calling. Ellison Technology reached out to us. They're like, "Hey, we'll get the truck. We'll get them to there." They had a helicopter that was going to pick them up, and start distributing them. And I still can't say it. And it just, I 3 welders reached out to me. I was like, "Hey, we'll come." Like, I wish I could remember their names off the top of my head, but they showed up. We knocked them out. Saturday, Sunday, Monday morning, the crew shows up. At the time, we had someone that was managing it. They were upset because now this has ruined the whole day. We've only got so much room to fulfill orders. Now we can't fulfill orders, and you're giving away our entire inventory. And it was one of those, what are you doing? Like, this is going to bankrupt your business. Bankrupt your business. You want to tell me how that works? And there was no, it's like, it's all right. I'll figure it out. I got levers to pull. I've got clients that I've done work for that are extremely wealthy, and I've built a relationship with them that I got levers to pull. If I ever got in a situation, I could call someone and say, "Look, I need money. Whatever project you have, I will get it done for you. Could you write me a check?" And they'll say, "Come get this check." I need some time. I need to buy some time right now. And I could pull that lever and we'll manage to the next week. But you know how it ended up? That ended up being one of our best months of sales that we've ever had because our community saw what we did and stepped up. And tell me we ain't building something, you can kiss my ass.
Yeah.
Like
No, I agree 100%. That's,
that was our best sales month we ever had for Chiasson Smoke.
yeah. And your wife's okay with it. She just
I
looked
was
at it and
there
shook
right
her
with
head.
them.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't. We're
That's,
doing this.
yeah.
We're doing this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And when I got home, my wife's like, okay. And she just knew we'd figure it out. So
yeah,
man, that's awesome.
yeah, we got a bunch of stories like that for
Mhm.
sure. Yeah, it's been
Life's
a
good,
ride.
huh?
It's been a ride, and I keep I've got so many ideas, so many ideas. I wanna bring team roping back into our life. You know, that was a big part of our life. I want our kids to experience it, but I know I know our story fits into it, so it's more content. It tells more to it. There's lots of opportunities still ahead for us for sure.
Well, you would have time to go out and rope if you got rid of those 4 hours you're spending on social media.
Yeah,
And it would
yeah.
probably
That's
take
what
about that
Now
long.
it's gonna be 8 hours of social
Yep. You
now
need
it's
like
for
48
roping.
hours in the day.
yeah, no doubt.
Be fine.
A lot of it is just buying your time back and figuring out where okay, I can pay someone to do this, and I could get this time back, and we can do this now. I could do this now, and that's just how it works. It's just so hard because I don't know how to motivate people to just be like, man, it's hard, and but boy, if you just do it, if you could just stick through it, you know. And if you have a partner, I can't do it without Miranda. I couldn't do it without Miranda. But man, when you find the right partner, you know, it's like you get to choose your wife or your
Well, without my wife, I would be absolutely nothing.
yeah
The other thing that's interesting about business is I had somebody, they were asking me about how it works with your wife when your wife's wanting you to spend time. I saw a thing where the wife's just wanting the husband home all the time. And the thing that's awesome about my wife is she knows that where I need to be. And she's usually like your wife. She's there by my side and she doesn't say, oh, you're spending too much time doing this. You're spending too much time doing this. My wife always wants to know, how can I help support you? What can I do to be with you doing it? And
yep
it makes all the difference. So it's
a
awesome.
hundred. It's if you can understand that you're one unit and you're trying to and everyone has their strong sense. But you see it a lot in the welding community. You see guys that are able to go on the road and their wives travel. Their wives make that sacrifice. Their wives make um, because they understand what can be built or what they're supporting the unit. They're helping build the unit, and it's the same with us. There's I don't think Miranda would have the ideas to like, oh, let's do this and go do that and do that. But boy, she can really execute whenever. Okay, now we know what we're doing, and I can plan a clear path. She can execute all the details
Yeah, because
and
where
make
would
it
you
happen.
be? Where would you be without her by your side? Like you would
Oh,
just be the guy with a bunch of good ideas, and
yeah, yeah,
man, that's yeah.
yeah,
My wife isn't my equal. My wife's like up here, and I'm
yeah,
just kind of down here,
yeah,
and she
mhm,
lets everybody think that I'm up here. Like
yeah.
she's awesome. So
It'd be really hard to start out in the beginning. It would have been really tough. Now, you know, maybe a guy can hire and you can hire an accountant immediately. You can hire an assistant immediately, but to build it together, that's that's
well,
the experience. That's just
it's the times when you're questioning, why am I doing this?
yeah,
What am I doing? And when you have a supportive wife that builds you up when you're broken down and tells you that you can do it. And there's been times where I've had difficulty where my wife is like, no, go do that. No, you can do it. Keep pushing. And it's because of her having confidence in me
yeah,
and faith that I can do it, that I'm like, oh, okay, I can do it. And the truth is, I don't care what anybody else says. Like if somebody else gave me encouragement, it means nothing. But my wife, I value her opinion so much and I trust her so much that I don't know how people do it without just that partnership.
We talk about that too. Like, I don't know how. I mean, we did it where they're going to their job, you're going to their job. You know, you get home at different times,
Yeah.
and I don't know. Yeah, it's just hard to think about it like that anymore.
And I can't imagine going throughout the day without seeing my wife. Like we see each other all day long, and
Yeah, for me,
it's the
it's
best.
I don't like it when she's going.
Yeah,
Me
sometimes I'm like,
neither.
can you just leave me alone for like an hour
Well,
now?
what's fun is when I go to bed at night, if my wife's not in bed with me, I can't sleep.
Yeah,
And the other day, we had my granddaughter was here, and at the end of our bed, we have a couch, and the couch folds out into a bed. Into a bed, it's like a couch bed. And my little granddaughter wouldn't sleep in the bed with me and her grandma, and she wanted to sleep in the couch bed. She's only, I think, two, maybe one or two. But anyways, just with my wife down there, and when I sleep at night, you can't be touching me. Like you can't breathe on me. It's not snuggling type stuff. I'm on this side of the bed. You got to stay over there. Don't touch me. But the fact that she was on the couch bed, 4 feet further away from me, I just laid there all night, just waiting for her to climb back into bed so we could go to sleep. But
yeah.
it didn't happen. But yeah,
No,
my wife's my everything.
it's yeah, it's I don't it I don't know how to explain it.
We've always worked together, and like in Louisiana, when we lived there, 5 of those 6 years, we worked separately. But we knew we could go right back to working together because
Yeah.
that's what we had always done.
Yeah, it was easy. It was I wanted her by, and then she brought the skills that I needed. Like when we were trying to figure out shipping, that was hard, but I could be doing the work in the shop, so I could be building product, and Miranda could be inside researching on, okay, how do we set up shipping? How do we do this? And then it's like, okay, we should package it like this, and then I could figure out how to get packaging done. And it was just all these.
Yeah.
It took two of us.
If you upset her, you're actually in a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
Because you can weld, you can build, but the really the stuff that really matters that she's had to think about and sit and get on the internet and find all this. That's me with my wife. You'd be in a world of hurt because,
yeah,
and I don't have the patience to figure it all out. But my wife can go all the way down the rabbit hole to the very end and get the
yeah,
information I need. I get
yeah,
halfway and I'm like, screw this. I'm done with this. I'm doing
yep.
something else.
And I
Make
remembered.
Jason do emails. I'll be doing emails.
I probably have 11,000 unread emails right now in
Yeah.
my email. My wife
Yeah.
has zero.
Well, I mean, that was one of the first things we bought Miranda's time back because it was consuming her. So we hired someone. We've got people that do our emails now. So it frees her up to be so that we can work together because it was all the things that would start consuming us to where we couldn't work together. We hired out for. Okay,
And
we were buying
how
this
did
time
you
back.
get brave enough to do that? Or
Well,
did you
Just
get forced into it?
no, Abby was the first. Yeah, I would say I couldn't do enough
yeah.
in one day, just me by myself.
I'm definitely it takes longer for me to let go of what I do than Jason. Jason's like, no.
Yeah, I've got
I-
through that mindset.
yeah, he's got through that. And I think there's a little he doesn't understand. There's a little more logistics to the things I do, like that he doesn't get it.
So
Well,
I'm,
hey, a perfect example is we get a lot, like, we'll get a lot of people email us because it's the only way that they can contact us, that say really mean things, and Miranda will bring it to my attention.
I shouldn't do that.
And because I don't care. Like, I don't care. A guy's business is failing because Chiasson Smoke showed up 7 years ago and took all the business. Like all the
bless your
nonsense
heart,
stuff.
huh?
Yeah, it'd be like someone, a small construction guy saying, "Oh, I can't get no construction jobs because you take all the business." No, buddy, you just ain't you're just not out marketing me.
Yes.
You're not getting out there. And how much sacrifice we made on customer service. You know how many rocket stoves we gave away and how much money we'd give back to people because our packaging was shit and they'd received product damaged, and people don't see that side of the business. People don't see all the money that we give out because we screwed up and we paid for it. And I've seen guys come in this space try to undercut me with another product, and then they would get a bunch of sales, and then they couldn't support it. They had no idea what customer service is like. Hey, where's lost packaging? Like, oh, you got to
Yeah, businesses in our space that scam people out of their money and never deliver the product.
Yep,
And
we
then
talk to
wonder
them
why
every
they're not
day.
in business.
Yeah, and how are they still in business?
And they still are. And it's good.
So I don't even worry about that nonsense, and I don't pay attention to the emails. I don't want to miss opportunities, though, and that's what
Well, it's getting our team,
to
our customer
understand.
service
Yeah,
understands what maybe we should.
yeah. They
Make that
know. Hey,
decision.
give away this many grills, give away this many rocket stoves every month. When people, it's kind of a first come first serve. If you make it, you make it. If you don't, you don't. And we're not trying to be mean, but
We would be we would be under if we gave away everything we people
yeah,
ask us for, but we
but
give as much as we can for sure.
100%.
Well, and it's again, it's natural selection. And if you fail, it's because of you. And if you guys win, it's because you're trying harder. And again, nobody ever knows what you go through. It, it probably is already happening, but there'll be a time where people will talk about how lucky you guys are and how your wife's or your father-in-law gave you
Oh
the
yeah.
business
Oh yeah,
and
We
you
get
didn't
that
have
all
to
the
do
time.
anything. And you're
Who
just,
programs your
yeah,
machines? Your dad?
yep.
No.
Life was just easy
No,
for you
never
and you
ran
just
one.
showed up and picked up all the blessings.
Nobody knows the stories of me and Miranda at our plasma tables at night, scratching our head, trying to figure out how to operate our plasma table back in the day.
Wondering
And
what in the crud you were doing.
what are we doing? How are we
Just get a
doing? We got
job.
to get this figured out, and we figured it
I
out.
spent hours learning how to draw, you know. I mean,
Yeah,
tons of time learning how to draw signs and put writing on stuff and our first collapsible pit. Even though they were out there,
ours
we
was a
drew it
totally
from
different.
scratch. It was different. It was, ours, and we sat there and
Yeah,
drew it. We know it's ours because we spent hours. Now it's been copied. It's collapsible grill.
yeah.
They're copied. But we see the file out there. We're like, oh, that
But
was
that's the
awesome.
importance of branding too. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
people read our reviews, and you don't just get those reviews because we stood behind our product, and when people got them, they enjoyed the product. And when people don't enjoy the product or they're unhappy with us, we deal with that too, and it happens. And um just part of business, I guess. All part of business.
So who's making dinner tonight?
um
The kid, our oldest daughter made dinner tonight. She's
Mac and
great.
cheese?
We got
Spaghetti.
we got spaghetti, we got cornbread. The boys love cornbread and milk. Hot cornbread and milk in a bowl. That's Jason's southern
that's our go-to if
something.
it's gonna be a fast.
She's
But
great.
no, our oldest daughter, she really stepped up to the plate, and we've got a whole like creative space here too. Like at home, I got a CO2 laser, I got a resin printer, I've got a 3D printer because like I like learning skills that I think would really help them. One is going to be just having some business sense, and I hope to teach them that. Of like, look, these are some strategies you can do to maybe promote this and do that. I want all that, but have that creative mind and be able to create and draw, especially in 3D. Understand that concept because I think that's what's going to carry them, especially if they go into the fabrication space, and even if they don't, that's a valuable skill set to have. Even on the content creation side, I'm telling you, content creators will be making more than some blue collar jobs before. They already
We
are.
already do.
They already are.
Mm.
And like, how amazing is that?
Yeah, we
Imagine,
live in a crazy time.
yeah, like someone can actually be creative and explore their artistic ability in another form now through video, and people watch, and they can get followers and they can earn income, and it's like yeah, it's a crazy time, but I think it's cool.
Yeah. And I think it's awesome that you can market your company with it. Because
Yeah.
who are you guys? Like, what do you guys know? You guys don't know nothing about
Yep.
nothing. But look
Right.
at where you're at and look at what you're doing in the
Yep.
space. It's awesome.
100%. 100%.
Well, I'm going to shut it down. I would go another 2 hours. We did do a 4-hour podcast one time. It was awesome. This guy was amazing. But anyways, we do respect your time, and we've loved having you guys on. So let us know where people can find you at.
ChiassonSmoke.com is our website, and we're on all the social platforms of Chiasson Smoke, ChiassonSmoke.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time. We're going to be doing some giveaways with you guys soon. And we think you guys are amazing. I think people ought to follow you. They can learn a lot about life and business and social media and how to work together as a husband and wife. So thank you for your time.
We appreciate you having us.
Well, thank you. We'll have to check in again. This is where I hit the outgoing music, and then I just shut the screen and it's all over.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great week.
You too.
What you say and what you mean, it can be two different things. And
Leave now.